So you've already mastered how to decipher the dress code and how to figure out what it is you should wear in those scenarios where a dress code is going to be dictated to you. Welcome to the personal development series, Develop Steps to Revolutionize Your Style. And this is going to help you develop the skills to always be well dressed. In this particular block, we're going to demystify what creates style, helping us to get familiar with the building blocks of great style. So keys to great style: fit, color coordination, and personality. With the fit, it's all about how the clothes fit on your body, whether or not your shirt is the correct length, whether or not the chest on your shirt is the correct size, whether or not your pants are the correct size, whether or not your pants are long enough, whatever the case may be when it comes to fit. Now, with fit, you want the clothes to fit your body. More on that later, but you want the clothes to fit your body. Color coordination. Your goal is to pick a cohesive color scheme. You don't want to wear red, green, blue, purple, and orange all at the same time. That's going to look ridiculous, especially because all of those colors are so vibrant and different from one another. Doesn't mean it's impossible to wear all of those colors, but it's very important that you consider how to execute and how to coordinate those colors. Personality. Those are the little tweaks that you have that are specific to you and the things that you do that make it your style versus the way someone else wears their clothes. For example, if you like to roll up your sleeves, if you like to roll up the pants legs, those kinds of things that other people may or may not do kind of make it unique to you. So you want to be yourself, and you want to take into consideration your experiences, your preferences, and your lifestyle. When we're talking about your experiences, we're discussing the things that you like and the things that you hate. What clothes make you feel confident? What clothes make you feel comfortable at the same time? And then, of course, what clothes do you despise wearing under all circumstances and in any circumstance? We're also going to take into consideration your preferences and your aspirations, the way that you prefer to dress, the way that you like to dress. And that could be because you've dressed that way before and you really liked it, or it could be because you like the fact that someone else dresses that way, someone on TV or, in a movie that you've seen, and you really like the way that that person dressed. And now that's the way you want to dress. So we're going to take that into consideration. And then, of course, your lifestyle, because it doesn't make sense for you to own 15 suits and be a construction worker. So, you want to make sure that the clothes you own are clothes you can actually wear. If you're a construction worker and let's say you have 5 kids and you never, under any circumstance, really have to wear a suit, why would you own 15 of them just because you like suits? So it doesn't mean that you can't dress up, but it does mean that it doesn't make sense for you to own that many suits that you'll never wear. So your lifestyle is important. You want to be appropriate. So just because you like to dress a certain way doesn't mean you get to ignore the dress code. We just discussed the importance of the dress code, and a lot of times that's what gets a lot of guys into trouble. That's what makes people look at them and go, he has no home training. So you want to make sure that you pay attention to the dress code and that you know how to adhere to it. And if you add your own little tweaks, of course, to the dress codes that you're allowed to do that in, that's fine, but make sure you know how to adhere to it. Underdressing and overdressing. So underdressing, of course, is coming to an event dressed less than you were supposed to be dressed. Meaning, instead of you coming doing business, you look business casual. Or for a business casual event, you come looking casual. Not okay. And it definitely can be seen as disrespectful to the host. Overdressing is also an issue. It can make other people uncomfortable, and in some scenarios can also be seen as disrespectful. So you need to make sure you're still being appropriate. So just because I love to wear 3-piece suits, if that was the case for me, doesn't mean that I wear that to every single event. Doesn't mean that I wear that to someone's, barbecue get-together that they're having, because chances are everyone else at the barbecue are going to be uncomfortable with the fact that I'm wearing a 3-piece suit. So underdressing and overdressing are definitely things you want to consider. A lot of times, overdressing isn't seen as being that negative, but still, you want to pay attention to it. Fashion versus style. So fashion is, the trends that come out, the colors that are in, the cuts that are in, and things of that nature. Style is what's unique to you. Style is the way that you prefer to dress. It doesn't necessarily have to be, quote unquote, fashion. So it's important that you understand that, for style, you could dress the same way for years and years and years. That's your style. So bear in mind that. Bear in mind that fashion is what's in now, what changes, things of that nature. It's the artistry, if you will, behind the making of clothes. Whereas style is the way that you prefer to dress and look. You want to be consistent. Timelessness is key in this particular scenario. And of course, you want to understand how trends work for you. So when it comes to timelessness, it's important that you realize that even though you may say, for example, like to dress like a hipster or dress in very urban clothes, or, you like to say maybe you do like to wear blazers and jeans and things of that nature. Timelessness is almost always going to be considered, blazers, button up shirts, slim fitting, or not skinny, but slimmer cut pants that like fit the body. That's going to be considered timeless. Suits and things that are close to the way that a suit looks is going to be considered timeless. So it's important that you realize that as you change, or as you decide what it is that you want to dress like, what it is that your personal style is going to be, it's important that you realize that that's considered timeless. And a lot of times that's what's going to be considered the best dressed. So I would hate for you to go through the course and come up with a personal style that you're not happy with because it doesn't get as much attention or command as much respect as you want it to command. So I'll let you know right now that timeless style is, blazers, slim fitting jeans and button up shirts. Doesn't mean you have to dress that way, but at least you realize that that's going to be considered more timeless. Of course, t-shirt and jeans is timeless as well. So, that's considered timeless as well when it comes to casual. But some things that you may decide to do, ways that you may decide to dress, may not be as timeless. And that's okay if that's the way you like to look, because it's important that you feel confident and comfortable. Just realize that, unfortunately, that doesn't necessarily always translate to everyone as being awesome. But if it's awesome for you, it can easily become awesome for them, as long as it makes you feel confident. So just pay attention to that. Trends. So those are the things that are in or out. Ripped jeans may be in, and beards may be in. And then, 5 years from now, ripped jeans may be, no one wears ripped jeans anymore. That's so 2018. And you might not ever find yourself saying that, because we don't normally say stuff like that unless we're like kidding. However, for trends, that's something you don't necessarily have to adhere to if it doesn't match up with the way you like to dress. So consider the trends, and of course, if you become aware of one and you decide, I really like that new shirt, that they have that just came out, or the new way of wearing a shirt, or whatever the case may be, I feel like I can incorporate that into my style, then do so. But don't feel that you have to just because you're considered a stylish person and it's a new trend. So with wardrobe, you want to start with your wardrobe. You want to talk about or think about how many items you love. Think about how you dress, and do you dress the way that you want to? And think about what were your favorite outfits. These are some of the things we're going to start thinking about and talking about as we get into establishing your personal style. You want to make sure that you begin with a framework. Make sure that you start with, this is how a good outfit looks to me. This is how a good outfit looks, for Formula 1, Formula 2, Formula 3. Just a way, for example, a way that you like to dress. So, for example, Formula 1 may be a blazer, button-up shirt, and jeans. Formula 2 may be a Henley and a little bit looser fitting jeans and a cardigan. And Formula 3 may be a cardigan and a polo shirt and chinos. And that may be the ways that you like to dress. But having that framework helps, because it controls your shopping, and then it makes it easy for you to figure out how it is that you want to get dressed. It makes it easy for you to figure out how it is that you want to get dressed. Do not buy everything at once. Not a good idea. This is something that you want to develop over time, because it's possible that you buy that polo and you wear it with that cardigan and decide that you don't like that look anymore. So if you go out and buy 15 cardigans or 15 polos, 15 polos and 3 or 4 cardigans, and then decide that you don't like that look anymore, I guess you're donating a bunch of clothes now, because you can't necessarily return all of that. So don't buy everything at once. Let it grow over time. You're going to craft a spending plan that'll help you kind of figure out how you want to go about purchasing these items. and make sure you invest in quality. So don't try not to get all of your items from, cheaper stores where the quality of the clothes isn't that great. And if you don't know what the quality of the clothes is, research. So that's pretty much it for this particular block. We're going to dive deeper into the other considerations and aspects that you want to figure out and understand as you develop your own personal style.